Fine. The next image is a layer image. So these images are equipped with a number of layers, as if like Photoshop files are created with layers. The Photoshop images are technically called as layer image, where the things are in layer format, and the format which is uh, having the information of the layers is called PSD format. So there are two type of images: normal image or PSD image. So to get import all these things, there are different techniques. But normal images again of with background and without background. So transparency or transparent background. Again, it is, we can write normal. That means with background and without background. Without background. Without background. Normal with background. With BG. So we have understood now how many kind of footages are going to work out. Now a technical thing is like image sequence. Knowing like image sequence is nothing but like number of images in a sequential order. So let us take example like if 3 4 images are there and they are equipped with the name 1 2 3 4, and then it is called sequence of image. But if the images are not named with 1 2 3 4 with name, it has been like named like Ram Hari Gopal, then it is not called sequence image. So what is sequence image and what is not sequence image, that we got to know. Group of images with a particular sequence of numbers 1 2 3 4, then it's okay. But the next scenario is like if 1 2 3 4 is there but name is different, then it is also not called a, if 1 is there, 2 is there, 3 is there, and 4 is there, but here the name is Ram Hari Gopal, then it is not a sequence. So just I'm illustrating in a scribble manner. You can make a fair note on it. So what is exactly called sequence image, that we have understood from these three examples. It is a group of images only, but it behave inside the hard disk as a separate images, but whenever it comes to this software, it behaves just like a video. So this is the significance of image sequence. This is the quality of the image sequence. It looks like a images inside your hard disk, but whenever it comes to the software, it looks like a video. So hope we have understood what is called image sequence is and how many type of footages are there who are going to help us to do the composition, and what is what the technical terms and relevant windows will be seeing inside the After Effects screen. So on user interface, you'll finding like composition panel. Can you find over here, like onto the left top corner, you can find a name of every panels. Will be finding a name. Here it is called composition panel. That means it is the stage where the performance will be happening up. And here you can all find the name is called project panel. Here everybody will come and stay there before coming to the stage. And this is the place where the timeline, where the whole composition will be under the control. So these are the three minimum panels required. Now a technical terms we are using called panel. So each like frame here is technically called as panel, and these panels are placed in a particular place, and that is called a frame. So here you can find two panels are there. So here sometimes you can find in a single frame number of panels are there. Sometimes we'll be finding in a frame only one panel is there. So panel and two frames are two different things. So we can standard composition panel. Just fine. So here we have understood now what is panel and what is frame. Now how to handle the panel or frames. Now there are two kind of panels are there. One is with a yellow color border. Can you find over here? It is having a yellow color border. Now it is not. Now you can find it becomes yellow color border. That means what? Whichever the panel is with yellow color, that is called active panel. Okay. And wherever the cursor is there, that is called cursor over panel. There are few keyboard shortcuts which is working on the active panel, and which is other way it is working on a cursor over panel. So now we have understood panel is again of two types: active panel, cursor over panel. Now switching to the panel to the left top corner of any panel, then okay, we'll take a print screen so that we can easily understand in zoom way. So every panel does have a name into the left top corner of the panel, and every panel does have a dotted mark. So Just I'm making it zoom so that we can able to see it clearly. Now zooming it out, here you can say uh, every panel does have a name, as well as it have some dotted mark. If we are using CS6 and all, then this kind of arrangement are there. So this is the place where the panel could be hold up. Then we can able to move it up. Now on every panel, again you can find a cross button where we can able to delete or we can able to remove the panel from the interface. Now find three informations are there on the panel. One is the dotted mark onto the left, extreme left top corner, where we can able to hold the panel. Now beside to that, the name, and the next is your deleting buttons. So
Yeah,
this will be
actually,
common.
sorry,
Yeah,
sorry, sorry.
yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
holding means like I
Yes.
can drag anywhere.
Yeah, yeah, great. So once you
That's it.
hold, then you can have to start doing some manipulations. You can
Okay.
either you can move it, or you can able to get it placed to the other panel side.
Okay.
So this is the place where we can able to hold a panel. Now we have understood what are these icons and what are the symbols signifies. Now we'll see some action mode. Coming to the screen now. Here, if we move in between of two panels, then the cursor instantly change into a directional mark. That means we can able to reposition or resize the panel or the frames. It is not the panel, it is a whole frame is resizing up. Exactly the same way. If we can able to move on to any two panel horizontally or vertically, then yes, you can do that. Next, if we move to any three panels middle point, then the cursor will turn into a four directional mark. Then you can move to the left, right, up, down. So it allow the artist to get the interface to change in his own way. Fine. So we have understood now how to arrange the panel like frames, directly frames. Now,
Yes, sir.
frame and panels are two different things. Frame is a place where panels are standing. Now you can see here, like there are two panels standing in a single frame. Now let us see how to hold the panel, how to close the panel, and how to open the panel. So if you move to the panel left top corner beside to the name of the panels, you'll find a cross button, and it is composition panel. The time we close this, to get it open in any Adobe software, Windows is a platform where all the panels or the windows will be there. Again, you can have to switch on this. So we have understood now how to close the panel, how to open the panel.
Yes, sir.
Next, by moving to the left top corner, you find a dotted mark. Yes, this is the place where we can able to hold the panel. Now, let us see the movement on the panels. So, drag the panel and move to beside of other panel. Now, you can find a blue color mark. Is it okay? So, the blue indicates that we are going to place this panel on that particular panels on that side. This is what the color indications happens. So blue indicates where the placement of the present panel to the beside of the other panel. So hope we have understood how to move the panel as per the requirement of the technician.
See, what is the use of moving to that side, sir?
Right. So sometimes what happens, like the comfortability, whenever we are working on a project, then we feel to work on the right side. So rather than like left side rather than right side. So it gives you freedom. That's the kind of things. So once user start up getting the user interface into his own way, then he can able to zoom the things in a bigger way, and he can work operate properly. That is only the things. Is it okay? Hope
Yeah,
got the
yeah,
answer.
sir. Got it, sir. Just this is like for difference between left hand and
Comfortability.
right.
Comfortability of the user.
User. Yeah, yeah.
The
Got it, sir.
comfortability,
Yeah,
as
yeah.
if like in Photoshop, in every software they make the things to get changed, and starter never change all these things. He work in a predefined workspace only, but professionals customize the interface so that they can able to work freely. That is what the concern. So whichever the priority or the panel, they can able to place on the priority place, so that they can work on that screen in a very zoom manner. So it makes their workflow to go fine tune. Fine then. So hope we have understood how to move the panel, and we got to know like what is this blue color signifies, and how when to release the panel, and how to move it up. Fine. Now let us move on to the extreme left side of your panel, of your user interface. Extreme left. Then you can find a green color mark. Does it visible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
Fine.
sir.
So it indicates that it is going to occupy the whole left screen of your interface. That means
Okay.
we can able to make the interface to occupy to your maximum area wherever we are working. Whichever the panel is going to be work, that can able to occupy the maximum screen. So the detailness could be worked out, because compositing is such a work where pixel by pixel we need to work on the screen on pixels. Like if you go for like editing, then frame by frame or shot by shot. But here, pixel by pixel on a single screen, every individual pixel has to be zoom up to get it operate. So at that time, the screen size does matter. Hope we have understood like what is the
Yeah,
important.
yeah, got it, sir. Got it. Sir, we can do it for same right side also.
Yes, yes. Anywhere on the screen, we can go to the extreme right,
Okay.
extreme left, extreme top, extreme down.
Bottom.
So
Okay, done.
extremeness
Okay.
is green color, and beside of the panel is a blue color.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
now, instead of beside, we can able to place the panel over to the panel. Then on the center, we can able to place the panel so that the other panel will go back to the panel, so that only one panel will be visible, but the other panel will be there. If it is not used, then you can have to use the maximum size of
Okay,
the
okay.
user interface. So we are just understanding like how to handle the user interface. Now we have understood movement, placement, deleting, and loading. That much of things is done up. Now the next is how to detach the panel. How to detach the panel. That means sometimes we don't need this to be get attached to the user interface. We need to get it separate so that we can able to move it outside also. Now how to detach the panel? Hold the control button and work on the same dotted points. Then you can drag it out to get it detached. So now we have seen how to detach the panel and get it separate. So this is the freedom of working. Now the whole After Effects could be turned into a simple button and get it, see the desktop and do the work. So this much of flexible the After Effects is. So you can able to make a particular panel to get detached from the uh, user interface and get it go and see the desktop and do the work. So this is possible in After Effects. And so we have understood how much flexible the software is on user interface, and it allow the artist to make the things in their own way. Now the next, we feel like to make the composition or the stage to be in the left side and the green room, I mean like project panel to be in the right side. This is what we want to work every time. Then we can have to save the workspace. Go to the Windows and ask the software to save the workspace as a new workspace. Now we have created our own workspace like 30 July. So now our workspace is there, but the next time the next like technician comes and then he want to works in the default workspace, then he can switch to any default workspace which is predefined. But whenever we come and we want to work in our workspace, yes, we can load our workspace, and the loading of the workspace could be done from the this below to the menu bar. This is called option bar. Here you can find, or else inside the Windows menu you can find the like 30 July. Is it okay? So we have understood what is
Yes, sir.
workspace, how to customize the workspace, and how to load the workspace, how to work with predefined workspace. And after working with the workspace, and suddenly we have changed something, and we feel like no, 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 this is not what we are looking. Then we can have to switch to the reset workspace. Then, as it is before, it came up. So resetting, loading, saving, predefined workspace understood. So this makes the stage to get ready. And above to your this menu bar, and below to that option bar, and panel and frames are there. This is what the user interface where we are going to work on it. Now back to the normal like predefined workspace. This is standard workspace, which is minimum things whatever required that is there, and you can able to reset the standard also. So it will be the default workspace anywhere you'll find the After Effects standard workspace, where minimum three things are required: project panel, composition panel, and timeline. Except that, few more informations will be there, but whenever it is not required, you can able to get it close. And if it is required, yes, we can able to get it open from the Windows. So panel handling is over. Now the next task is how to import the footage. Like this part is done up. Now the things, what are the different methods to get the footage to come onto the screen? So every there are around 10 ways to get import, and every footage does have its individual approach to get import. But basically, this normal image and audio and video are same way to import because they are single files. But whenever it comes to the image sequence and PST layers, there are a few different technique to import the files, because the file has to be get import first to the stage or to the project panel, so that we can all start working on it. So let us understand how to import the footage. Now the topic, importing. Importing means bringing the file into the stage or the composition panel or the project panel. Fine. So first method to get import in manual way, file and import. So this is the place, importing. And the hotkey control I. There are around 500 hotkeys are there, and we'll be like talking all these things. So it can save your time. That is what the concern. Or else manual way and professional both were we can able handle. If not the keyboard shortcut, then click, click, click. But if with keyboard, then it makes your time to get save up. So at every place, the software will provide us two things. What is the menu bar options and what is the keyboard shortcut. So for the next time, we only need to come to this file menu and import. Just hit Control I, job is done. So now we have understood what is the two method of importing the files. Just the file get imported. So image, a normal image, audio, video are not a big deal because they are single files. It can be imported by just clicking on the buttons. And the third way of importing the things is double click on the project panel. Double click on the project panels. It allow the artist to import the footages. So let's move on to the video. Now video also imported within a click. So image, audio and video is easy to come because it is single files. But the time whenever you are dealing with the PSD file or Photoshop files, because majorly the design will be happening in Photoshop, and later on it will be get motion inside the After Effects. At that point, the file will be in layers. So how to import the layer image, we'll see now. So let us make a layer image to understand it proper. Hope you are knowing this user interface of Photoshop. Just I'm taking a new file to get it import in Photoshop, in After Effects. Take a new layer in Photoshop and get some events that I'm taking. Take another ball and take another. So there are three elements on the screen beside to each other. So this, we need to take this into After Effects. So save the file on the desktop with layer name, layer 3. Okay. PSD file having layers. So let us import it in the thing into After Effects. And we got to know how to import the file by the command Control I, or else double click on the project panels. Just hit the Control I and switch to the desktop. Let's go for the PSD file. But before we have seen, like the time we choose any particular file, it get open instantly. But whenever we choose a PSD file, the software will not open and he'll ask you question, what you want to do. So here he gives us three choice. The first choice is footage. Inside the footage, again, he'll ask two questions like which type of footage you want. Do you want to mix all the layers and bring, or you want individual layers? So now whenever we are importing the PSD files, and the software asks us three questions. Like one is called footage. And inside the footage, again, he'll ask you two questions. Do you want to merge it or you want to choose it? So merge and choose. Choose means we do have number of layers. Then which layer we want? He's asking like that. So there are two choices given to us. So if you go for merge layer, then all these three layers of Photoshop and as well as the white background merge and it turn into a single image. But instead of like merging all, we need individual like circles. Then yes, we can able to ask the software, don't merge it. We need to choose a particular layer. So here it allowed to choose a particular layer. So we have understood there are two different methods of importing the PSD file. But neither we want the merging nor we want the choosing, but we want exactly the same way how we have made in Photoshop, like all the layers we need. Then none of this method will work out. We need to move to this third method. And the third method is, rather than going for footage, we can switch to the composition. Once we switch to the composition, then what happens? The software will import the file as it is we have done in Photoshop. And we have seen the Photoshop has created all the things in layers. Exactly the same way it brings the files. The time we double click on the composition, you can find the layers. So individual layers come up and individual things could be hide up and so up. So hope we have understood the three different methods of importing the files in After Effects through PSD layers. So the third method, what? Composition method. Composition. Just I'm scribbling to get you a note like things. So it brings all the things in layer format as it is we have done in Photoshop. But here it is bringing only one layer. It is clubbing all the layers into a single layer. So this is the difference between importing of a PSD layer in these many methods. This brings only one file, one layers. It brings all the layers. It brings all the layers into a single image format. But now what is the difficulty in this also? Let us see the difficult part. It is a solution. Okay, fine. It bring all the things individually. We can do whatever like. But everybody's center point is there in the center of the canvas. In this composition importing, what happens? So to understand the problem, I'm just doing some event. We'll go in very detail how to do that. But what is happening on your screen, you can find it is rotating from the center canvas. Center of the canvas, the object is rotating from the center of the canvas. How to rotate, we'll learn later. But we are just seeing what is the difficulties whenever we are importing a file in composition format, and what is the solution. The solution, it brings all the individual layers. The problem we have faced, everybody's center is there in the center of the canvas, but we don't need that. We need individual object center should be in the individual of the layers. Then this method doesn't work out. We need to switch to the next method. Have a double click on your project panel and ask the same file to open up, but not in composition. Ask composition retain layer size. Then the same PST come up with all the layers, but now what happens? Everybody's center point is there in the center of the object. So hope we have understood how many methods of importing the file are there and what is the difference between them. So here we got to know comp retain layer size, retain layer size. So here what happens? Object center will be in the object center. So every object center will be there in the center of the object. But here what happens? All the objects center will be only in one point. So whenever making motion graphics or animation, then sometimes we'll be requiring the object has to rotate from its own center point. Then this method has to be adopted. If the object has to be rotated from the canvas center point, then this method has to be adopted. So this also brings all the layers independent. This also brings all the layer independent. So hope we have understood how many method of importing there in PSD format. In PSD itself, we can able to import the files in 4 different methods. Merge layer, choose layer, composition, retain layer size. Is done? Hello?
Got it, sir. Got it. So thing is like I want to have one question.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, the first point is like I was happy with the footage merge choose. Then see if see first merge was like it's a total group of things comes in one place. Say choose means like we can choose particular means
Right.
in there we can choose two things also at a time.
No, we can choose only one. And if you need to go for 2, then we need to do the event for second time. So we can
Okay.
get individually for 2 means 2 times you need to do the individual.
Means we can't choose any multiple values there.
Multiple layers cannot be imported with the choose format. In choose, he is allowing us to choose the particular one because he is giving one choice.
Okay.
Choosing means one.
Okay.
But yes, if you need individually like 5 things to be taken, then individual has to be imported.
Okay. Okay. That is okay. Done, sir.
So sometimes I'm speaking, going on speaking. So whenever you feel like
Yeah, no problem, sir. No, I'm just capable of learning. No problem. Whatever the things when you finish, then only I'll ask.
Yes, yes. Okay.
So,
No problem. So
yeah.
we'll continue.
Yeah, sure.
And then now we have understood how to import the things in multiple ways to a PSD file, because a lot of things will be done in layers only. And PST is also capable of making the layers, and Illustrator software is also capable of creating the layers and saving the file in PST. So there are two softwares which produce PST formats in Adobe. One is Illustrator and Photoshop. Both are capable of producing .pst format, where the elements will be created in the designing software. Even Corel is capable of so also. So now we have understood what are the points to be taken care while dealing with layer footages. Now let's switch to the sequence images. This is a technical thing. So what is sequence image and how to import the sequence image? To understand it, let us produce a sequence image. So just so I'm just creating a sequence image. I'm not teaching now. For a while, it will go for render. So they are movies what I work for. My first movie is Yogi. This is Raju Bhai's footage.
Sir, just 1 minute, sir. I'll just 1 minute.
Noises. Till the time I'm rendering it up. Hello. Yes. Does
Yes,
it?
sir.
Reaching. And so now we'll be seeing like how does a image sequence looks like. Oh, 1 minute. Does my screen is visible?
No, sir.
Okay. So, hope now it is visible.
Yeah, yeah.
Fine. So let us see how does the image sequence looks like. The image sequence inside the hard disk look like individual images. It is there in editing also, but with sequential numbers. And to get import the image sequence, we need to choose any particular image of the group. Then go for a simple button on the left down corner. That will indicate that format and a name called sequence. If it is in JPEG, then it will show JPEG sequence. If it is in TIFF, Targa, PST, anything, so it will say it will show that particular format name and the sequence. So switch on this button and any one of the image and go for open. Then what happens inside the hard disk? We have seen like it was looking like the images, but once it comes to the software, it will behave just like a video. This is the difference between image sequence inside the hard disk and image sequence inside your software. Inside the software, it looks like a video, but in fact, it is not a video inside the hard disk. It is just the images. So hope we have understood
Yeah,
what
yeah.
is the point to be taken care while importing the image sequence. Just to switch on this button, then it comes up. Fine. Now the thing is like if we need a particular image out of the image sequence, then we need to switch off this. Then it brings out only that particular image onto the footage, onto the compositions. So we got to know how to import the image sequence and what are the
Sir, can
point to
you
it.
repeat again, sir, this one?
Yes, image sequence could be imported in two different way. One in a video format, second in a image format, in a image, individual image, single image. To get it import as a video form, then we need to switch on this image sequence button. Where is the image sequence button? It is there in the left down corner of your import window. If it is on, then it brings the sequence of images as a video. Is it okay now?
Okay. Means
And
like we can click any one of the thing and yeah.
anyone you can choose, and the software understand the artist is requiring all the things to come in a order. He understand in that way,
Okay.
and he bring up all the things, and on screen you can able to see it play like a video. So we have understood how to import the image sequence. Now out of the image sequence, if you need a particular one, then we need to switch off this button, image sequence. Then the software understand, yes, the artist is requiring a particular one or a
Okay.
particular group of things. With this control button, you can have to select individual things, and the software will bring that particular images only. So we have understood the
Yeah, I got it, sir.
two different format of importing. Now the third one is like sometimes what happens whenever we are working in a project file, missing will be there. Let us take example here. Out of this 27, 28 is not there. Let us take a case. We are cutting it up and we are putting in a different folder so that the software cannot able to predict that particular number. So now if you're importing the things with the image sequence, then what the software will tell you immediately to file ledu, the files are not there. What I need to do? This will be a question will be asked by the software automatically.
Okay.
Then we need to ask to the team leader what we need to do. If the team leader is telling no problem, that could be a blank, you can take it up, then go for okay, and the footage will come up. But whenever it play, at that particular frame, it will show a blank face. You can see it will show this two frame as a blank. So if it is no problem and team leader or like project doesn't require this, then if blank could be used, no problem. If the team lead tell no, the two frame is not important, but we don't need this white, black and red color strips. Get it cut and get it join them. Get it in a form of a video without this gap. Then we need to add up the next method. Select it up and switch to a button below to the sequence that is called force alphabetical order. That means we are asking to the software after 26 directly play the 29. If 27, 28 is not there, no need to get a gap. So jump it up. Then force alphabetical order. Is it okay? So here what happens, the software will bring the file, but at a particular step, we'll find a bigger jump will be there. But there will be no gap. So it may be like, this is what your bigger gap. So this will be the scenario. So we have understood now how to handle the unavailable frames in the sequence. There are two ways of handling it up. Either you can able to give a gap, or you can able to forcefully join them. And the forceful,
Can you tell me second one, sir, again?
so whenever you are going to the second method of without gaps, then switch on this button, force
Which one?
alphabetical order.
Okay.
Force
Okay.
alphabetical order means after 26, play 29. We are telling to the software.
Okay.
Wherever the gap is there, he will close it up.
Acha,
And we
acha,
won't
acha.
need
Okay.
to do
Next
editing.
next thing will be played.
Next frame will be played.
Okay. Okay, sir. Got it.
And it will give a jump anyhow because the information is not there, but it will not get a gap. And
Yeah.
before what it was doing, it was showing a blank face.
Blank. Yeah, yeah. Got it.
Now it is no more blank. So now we have understood how to handle the image sequences. So force alphabetical order, a new thing we have understood. Force alphabet. So it is without gap. If it is off, then with cap. So three way of handling the things: image sequence, a four way of handling PhD sequence, and three way of handling these three are anyhow single method. So altogether, we have understood now 4 plus 3 plus 1 method for importing audio, video, and normal images. Around 8 method we got to know. And the next method is directly we can able to drag and drop. So this is in every software. If you feel like, okay, this particular image to be taken into care, then just drag and drop into the After Effects onto the project panel or anywhere. So it is also a method, drag and drop method. So here again, one more method we have understood to import the files is drag and drop. The ninth method, drag and drop. Now the 10th method is your bridging method. Bridging means as if like Windows Explorer we do have. This is called Windows Explorer, where you can able to see the file details and all, like what is the file made and where it has been made, thumbnail. So all these details you can find it out. But there are limited informations you can able to find in Windows Explorer. And till now, what are the things we have learned in After Effects to import the things? It also shows you very limited informations regarding the file. So it is not enough for a artist or a compositor. He needs more information regarding the footage, like when it's shooted, what is the color profile, what is the GPR is. All this information is technically called as metadata. The metadata of the file could be shown through a different software Adobe has created, and that is called Adobe Bridge. So if you're loading After Effects or Photoshop along with the bridge, then it will open a separate software that is called a bridge, where you can able to see the metadata of the file, and it makes the easy to choose a file. Just it takes some time because it is not the same software; it is an extra software like MS Paint and all. Adobe has created this software to find the file information in detail. So it gives you all the information regarding the file. So hope we understood like how the software can able to help us to find the right footage. Now it saves the time, as well as it is a place where you can able to filter the footage. Filter the footage means sometimes client comes with 500 images or 20 text and all things. He's confused like what is to be taken up. At the time we can able to help them to by giving a labeling. Sometimes he's giving a priority this. Then we can able to make it a level. So you have given 3 stars. So starring. Then on the right side of the same bridge, you can find a filtering process. So 3 star and above, then only limited things will be find out. So it not only gives the metadata, but also helps the technician to filter the footages.
Okay.
As well as the third application of the bridge is like on the right top corner, you can find a small button. It allows the artist to make the bridge to behave just like a panel inside the hard disk.
Okay.
Inside your interface directly you can drag and drop, and the whole hard disk will be there in front of you. So no need of jumping the things, going inside and dragging, so that all process get close. So hope we have understood how many method of importing. The around 10 methods we got to know to import the things. Is it okay?
Yeah, sir. Yeah, got it.
Then the summary, like what we have understood since last 40 minutes, like how we can able to import the file. That is only the things we have discussed since the last 40 minutes. 10 different method of importing the things, and special category is PSD and image sequence, and that two part to be taken care of.
Yes.
And please is extra things. If it is loaded, it's okay, or if it is not loaded, it will not be find out.
Which
But
one, sir?
bridge.
Bridge. Yeah.
Uh,
In my software it is showing browse to
then
bridge something.
browse to bridge. Then bridge software, if it is loaded, no, then it will open the bridge software, and we can take the advantage of the bridge because Adobe has created a special software for that. Now we'll move to a little higher option of the importing. Now we are talking about importing only. So the topic going on, import. So inside the importing, we have seen like these many methods, but again a special method is there to get it import. That's the 11th method. Till now 10th method we have seen. This is bridge method. And bridge does have 3 advantages. It helps to see the metadata, database,
Data.
and filtering, and as a panel it will be there. So that we wanted to jump anytime to the hard disk by control I and all.
Yeah, yeah,
So we can drag and drop and see all the things while opening the software. Now the 11th method, file multiple importing. Multiple import. Multiple import means whenever you are double clicking on the user interface or like your project panel, or else we are hitting control I, yes, it allows us to get import. But what happens whenever we have imported a particular image, then instantly the software will close this import window. So now we got to know, okay, at a single place, if something is there, okay, we can use the shift button and bring it up. If 10 drives are there, from 10 different drives, 10 different folders we need to take, then every time going import, open it, again it will close, again import, it kills the time. So rather than going in that way, we can switch to a different command that is called file multiple importing, all control I. Here what happens, this software will not close this window unless we tell done. It will open import and it will show like this only, and you can
okay.
browse.
Here we can't control, means like we can't select with the using control keys, sir.
Here on a single folder, if anything is there, you can use this control to get multiple, but it doesn't close until like your all the files are get imported.
Done. Until you
So
click done, it won't finish.
it
Okay.
will be on fixed way. No need to
Okay.
get control I, any chain comes from there. So
Okay.
once it is done, then it will open till your all the files are taken, not only from this drive, from any drive of your hard disk. So you can choose any drive and go on importing. Then at final you can go for done. Once
Sir, here one doubt, sir.
yes,
Sir,
yes.
I'm means like I'm selecting normal pick and PSD pick.
Okay.
But then I click done. Then automatically it will show that PSD formats. Means like
Ah,
how to it.
yes.
Yeah.
PhD,
Okay.
you will not allow to import the PhD, and
Yeah.
that's nice.
But yeah. Second point is like second question is like if I'm having 3-4 PSD formats
Ah,
at the time, how can it will be open? It like
right. No, it will not allow you to go for like 3-4 PSD format. The time you go for 3-4 PSD format, then he will consider like you are asking him to go for a sequence. So it will turn into a sequence format if it is
okay.
numbers. But
But it
it
is
will
not a number means.
like sequence, because if more than 2-3 files are there, then he considered is that does it as a sequence, he'll ask. Let us take the case of sequence, multiple files formation, or yes, this is a sequence. So sometimes PhD sequence also it will take up if it is number 1, 2, 3, 4, like
Okay.
that is a group of PhD files will be imported in a video format.
Okay.
So that will happen. But the question was, if a individual PhD not with a proper name, then he will ask you the dialog box, what you want to do, man, footage
Okay.
or composition or anything.
Okay. Okay.
Maybe like you will do for all the things. But generally, PhD with layers comes the things to be chosen one only, because PhD, whenever the artist is choosing, he will be considering like that a particular footage or particular layers in that way. Fine, then. So we have understood now the higher format of the importing, and that is called file multiple importing. Here, their drive will be open unless we are going for the button called done. Till the time, it will be in open case.
Okay.
Fine, then. So hope we have understood today's.
Yeah, yeah, sir. Yeah, yeah. Sir, can you send me like any material of like this?
I'll give you Excel sheet also. This Excel sheet, I'll provide you this Excel. So just
Yeah,
I'm showing the Excel.
yeah, yeah.
What I've done, like, what are the things we are talking that in a scribble manner it is there on the Excel.
Okay.
So
Yeah, okay.
everything is there, but in a scribble format.
Okay.
So we have taken print screen, hotkeys, everything written.
Okay. Super, super. Send
Everything.
me this one, sir, because so that I'll start doing working on it.
Yes, yes. All the things are written. So whatever, like we are taking the class now. Before we are not having recorder, so everything we are typing.
Okay.
That all things it is there, like in
Yeah,
sheet
yeah.
wise. So I can check it up, and immediately I'm sending this.
Sure, sure, sure.
So it may be drag and drop will happen inside your WhatsApp. Then
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
drag and drop it.
I can drop it, sir. I can
Uh,
download it. No problem.
just a minute. Let me check. Notes. And this screen also I am
Yeah,
saving
yeah,
you.
yeah. Please. See, this
Record.
is just for reference. That's it.
Ah,
Just when
yes,
I
yes.
started, yeah, that is
It is.
always important
Like
because when you are teaching,